Yo, what's up, and welcome back to the Youth of the Nation podcast with Nate and Telyn. Telyn, what's
What
up,
it
bro?
do?
How you
How's it
doing,
going,
dog?
man? I'm good, man.
I'm
Couldn't be
good.
better.
I'm at my girlfriend's house sitting right now.
Yeah.
This house is so lonely by itself. Huge, just windows and all that, like natural light, let the
Yeah.
melanin glow. But
He said let the melanin grow.
bro,
I love it.
how's your Christmas? How's New Year's? How's all that?
Man, Christmas was fantastic. Christmas Eve, we went and spent it with my parents. So we were over at my mom and stepdad's house for a few hours with Jordan. And then the night service, Jordan and I went to a Christmas Eve service. And then her parents and I went to Pagliacci's Pizza.
Hey.
Not Pagliacci's. We went to Puzzinella's.
Oh, I don't know.
Seattle. It was fire. It was
good?
fire. It was good pizza. It was probably one of the best pizzas I've ever had in my life, honestly.
So I gotta ask a question. There's a theme that's been occurring on every episode, bro. Are you the biggest fan of pizza or what?
Do I talk about pizza a lot?
First episode, you're like, hey, when we're at the Rock. Second episode, it was when we're at the Rock. This episode, we're at Pagliacci's, whatever it was.
You said Pagliacci's.
That was culturally unaware. My bad. But like
Puzzinella's, bro.
Puzzinella's, my bad.
Yeah,
I'm just saying, bro. You're a pizza connoisseur. I'm down with that.
I like pizza. She loves pizza. She's a huge fan of pizza. I could eat Japanese food all day, like teriyaki and all that. That's my style. You know what I mean? She is a pizza fanatic. So, but yeah, and New Year's was great. Last night I was at Jake and Delaney's wedding, which was fantastic. Beautiful couple. So happy for them.
That's awesome.
Huge fan of that. So that was good. What about you, man? How was Christmas and New Year's?
I was in Boise, Idaho, with the family.
Okay.
And it was great. It snowed a little bit, so we had a little bit of a white Christmas.
Okay.
It's kind of tight. And then, yeah, man, it was just cool. Like, I love being around family. Like, I just love when like you're kicking it and like there's no agenda. People are just hanging out, and that's what it was. Is people were just kicking it and hanging out. Yeah. And so I had a blast. I had so much fun.
So Christmas Day, bro, we're playing this game called Left, Right, Center. I don't know if you ever heard of it.
Is it with the dice?
Yeah, 3 dice, right?
Yeah.
And you're rolling dice, and for the people who don't know, it's left on the dice, right on the dice, and then center, and then there's a dot. So you roll, and if you get like 2 lefts and a right, you got to pass $2 to the left and $1 to the right. So you start with $3. So people are just passing money around. We're playing this at Jordan's parents' place, so people are just passing money around the entire time. Jordan has, I want to say, $1 left in her hand, and she has 1 dice to roll. So she rolls it, and she has to pass it to me. I have $2 in my hand, so now I have $3. I'm rolling 3 dice. Boom! All 3 dots. Don't have to pass no money off.
Uh-oh.
And there's only 2 people left. So now me and this girl are left. She rolls 3 dots. Give it back to me. I roll it right. So I give Jordan $1, and then I put 1 in the center. So I have $1 left, and I roll, get a dot. And long story short, bro, the pot was like $42, and I was one of the last people to have $1 in my hand, and I lost. I was so upset. I was so mad, bro. I was like,
so do you win if you have money left at the end of the game?
So the object is you want to have the last dollar in your hand.
Mm-hmm.
So if you have the last dollar in your hand and nobody else has money, then you take the whole pot. So I was upset. I was upset to say the least.
That's tough.
Yeah.
Well, in greater news of money, I won my fantasy football championship.
There you go.
$340.
Okay.
That's pretty nuts.
I lost pretty bad.
Beginner's luck, I'm sure. So we'll see how next year goes.
How much money did you put in fantasy this year?
Put in 40.
Yeah.
Just for this league. And so what happened is I didn't pay attention to any other fantasy football league.
Gotcha.
And I know a lot of people can't say they're good at fantasy football, but I genuinely think I'm pretty good at fantasy football. And so my other 2 leagues, which I should have won easily, I did not because I just was like, there's no money in these leagues.
Yeah. I put $175 in fantasy this year. So.
Oof. Did you get any back? 0. Yep. All right. There we go. Hey, shout out fantasy football.
Goose egg.
All right, bro. So we got to talk about it. So we're talking about Christmas Day, talking about what's happening. Sunday Service Choir dropped their new album
Yeah.
called Jesus is Born. If I can, I'm gonna put some instrumental over this. I don't think I can yet, but bro, let me know. What do you think?
I think it's a fantastic album. I was in the car and didn't even know it dropped. I think Jordan and I were kind of driving somewhere, and I was like, "What, babe? What is this?" She's like, "I don't know." Like,
Mm-hmm.
she's like, "I don't know." And so I played it, and like almost tears in my eyes how good it was. Like that father stretch when he's just going in and they sing the
Hey.
I'm just like,
That
and
was
then
good.
excellent. I mean, from song to song, I'm just like, wow, this is powerful. I grew up in a black church where there was a choir, and so it just reminded me of the past and how I was raised in church. And so, I mean, it just felt right. It felt so good. It was
That's
powerful,
good.
man. It's a powerful,
Yeah.
powerful album.
Yeah.
I wasn't always a huge fan of Kanye West. I'm not gonna lie. Wasn't always a huge fan of Kanye. When he first started, he thought he was God, which kind of made me upset, And everybody can be changed. I think everybody could be changed, and I think what he's doing right now for the people, preaching in jails and showing up at churches and just giving people the word. I think that is one of the biggest things that can happen in the generation we're in right now.
Yeah.
A guy like Kanye West to give his heart to God and really mean it and believe. And now I'm starting to believe it more than I see it, which I'm not the one to judge anyway. It's just from my personal opinion. It was like, man, that's hard to believe. And that's just what we do as people. But I think the album's great. I think what Kanye West is doing is great. I think he needs to lower the prices on those sweatshirts, but he's awesome.
Yeah, he does. But nah, man, you're right. I think so. My experience in the church was my mom, my family was heavily into the black church. And then we just stopped going to church just because of my life. And so I don't know. I don't have as many black church experiences as a lot of my other friends do. But when I heard that album, like it was like something in me woke up. Like it was like, yeah, we back, bro. We back in this thing. And so, man, it's kind of been hard for me to hear regular contemporary worship music now because of just how much gospel music I've been listening to, like over and over.
Yeah.
It's actually been kind of hard to like listen to contemporary, like Air One and stuff, because I'm like, and because did you know this? The celebration in the gospel choirs, like is the theme. Like we're gonna celebrate what God is doing. And it's just the way it's done is beautiful. And also what I loved is a lot of those songs are what he used in Life of Pablo, which had just crazy cuss words over it, and then changed them
Ultralight Beam.
To gospel songs, which they were originally meant to be, which is wild. And then also Souls Anchored is a remix of I think it's Genuine's So Anxious. Like changing changing words that were once used as something else, literally what Jesus told us to do, change the world, right? And he does that. It was dope.
Just beautiful.
It was beautiful. So yeah, man, I just think, I mean, the whole save thing is, again, that's not our issue. I think our issue is that we just gotta be listening to music and praising the Lord. And so yeah, man, I don't know, but we'll see how Kanye's doing. We'll see if a lot of people are like, this is just his only year and then he's gonna go into like Satanism, and I was like, whoa, slow down there, brother. Like,
relax, right?
Going a little bit too fast on that one, but yeah, man. Okay, so this week we got a little battle on our hands. We went from best friends, I'd say brothers, to enemies, bro. Eagles Seahawks Sunday.
Okay, first, can I say one thing before we even start this about that 49ers game? First of all, there was a blatant pass interference call that was not called. How do we get a delay of game on 1st and goal with Marshawn Lynch running the ball? This is the second opportunity that he has had the opportunity to win us a game on the freaking 1 yard line,
You
and
blew
we
it.
blew it. Like,
Blew it.
what? Come on.
That
So
was
it just, oh my God,
that
it's
was
so
terrible.
frustrating. So frustrating. So
That
those
was
two plays,
bad.
I'm not blaming the refs. I'm not blaming anybody. It was a good game. We fought. We came back with the injuries we had, with everything going against us. That game was fantastic. But what I did not like, the pass interference call and the delayed game.
The
We
delayed
shot
game.
ourselves in the foot, bro.
Because even without that even without that call, like that delayed game is killer.
Killer.
Because homeboy took too long to get. Oh, dude, it was so bad. Yeah, but hey, this is the thing though.
Terrible.
When I watched the game, I said, you know what? The Seahawks and the Eagles are more alike than we think. They're both super hurt. Quarterbacks are carrying the team right now.
Yeah.
I mean, literally, Carson Wentz's shoulders hurt because he's carrying the whole team right now. Russell Wilson's whole back hurts. He's been carrying the whole team.
Go crazy.
So
I mean, but Chris Carson has been balling though too, though. So
yeah,
Chris
but
Carson when he was in, he was balling.
We're all hurt.
Yeah, now everybody's hurt. So
it's gonna be. And before y'all think it's like, oh, you're wearing Navy. It's my high school team. So chill out with all that.
Yeah.
I ain't messing with no Seahawks stuff this week.
Go Hawks.
But I don't know, man. What's your prediction? Obviously, you have a bias.
17-24 Seahawks.
17-24 Seahawks. All right.
Yep.
I got 30-27 Eagles.
30-27 Eagles.
Only
you guys are gonna win on like 10 seconds left, go down, kick a field goal?
I don't think it's gonna be a walk. I don't think it's gonna be a walk-off. I think it's gonna be we're gonna score at like a minute left in the game. And then y'all are going to go drive. Russell Wilson's about to snap on a boy. And then someone's just going to go haywire at the end.
He does an interception.
I don't know about pick. He don't throw picks. I don't know. We'll see. But
he don't throw picks. But I do think Carson Wentz is going to have three interceptions.
Three?
Again. Wait, no, he had 4 last time, right? I think he's going to have 3 this time, though.
Yeah. 3 interceptions, bro?
I think he'll have 3.
That hurts.
Did that hurt you?
He's not throwing 3 picks, bro.
He's not throwing 3 picks?
He's not throwing 3 picks, bro. No.
Let's do a wager on it. No money bet. Let's do a wager, though.
What's the wager?
We'll think about that.
No, I'll tell you right now. Next podcast, if he throws – are we saying 3 picks or are we saying game?
I'm saying game.
Game. All right. Seahawks win. I will come on here with the Seahawks jersey and record the cast. And if the Eagles win, you got to do the thing with the Eagles jersey.
And
I have an Eagles jersey. That's perfect for you, bro.
I'll just how about I wear Eagles beanie or hat or something?
All right, fine. Eagles beanie. We'll do Eagles beanie.
All right.
And I will.
I don't want to put on an Eagles jersey.
I don't want to put on a Seahawks jersey.
I'm just selfish. Like, bro,
I'll wear my Seahawks t-shirt. I have a little t-shirt. I'll wear that.
See, so you rep us.
I rep y'all because in youth ministry, we have Seahawks nights all the time. And they're like, where's Seahawks gear? And sometimes I feel like a jerk because I'm like, we're dressed in like a regular hoodie, like, yay, have fun.
So my guy fronts and puts on a Hawks jersey and yells, go Hawks at Seahawks nights.
Not front.
And then on Sundays, he's repping Philly. Get a load of this guy, y'all. What's going on here? Just
listen to this, man. On Sunday night, I'm going to give you a text, and I'm going to say, hey, bro, it was nice. It was nice. It was nice, bro. It was nice talking to you.
I love it.
It was nice, man. It was nice playing the Seahawks again. Thanks for the rematch, bro. Appreciate it.
Keep that same energy, bro. That same energy. My stepdad is a huge Chicago Bears fan.
Oh, okay.
So that's my second team. And we don't like you guys. We just don't like the Eagles, bro.
Hey, that's okay. Well, the Bears got that double doink, 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 double doink. Hey, you know,
double
doink. It's okay.
That was a herder.
Bears fans were real mad.
That was a herder.
Eagles suck.
The kicker was on like suicide watch, wasn't he? Or is that not real?
No, he was on death watch or life, whatever it was. Like death threats. There we go.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to me.
How sad is that? That's sad.
Carson Wentz could throw a pick at the end of any game. I ain't gonna be like, I'm gonna kill you, bro. Like
They took that to heart, dog. They told him, bro,
I have
next time I see
never.
you, I'm about to off you. That's
Yes.
not funny, but it's like, bro, why are you so deep with this? It's
Yeah,
a
I have
game.
never felt like in anything where someone else out of my control has done something where I've been like, you know what? I want to kill you.
I want to kill you. Like,
That's
that's
wild.
ridiculous, dude.
But
That's ridiculous.
they did you see that meme? They posted it was of Russell Wilson and Carson Wentz, and it was Ned Flanders on The Simpsons, and he's
I
super
didn't see
corny,
that.
and they like doubled him, and they met each other, and it's because like they're the same like corny Christian dude, pretty much.
Yeah.
So,
Everything Russell Wilson says, bro, it's like everybody always has something to say because it's super cheesy, you know?
but my
Like,
thing is like, is it corny if they win? Like,
no.
you know what I'm saying? Because like people say the same thing about Wentz.
Well, because it was like when he was mic'd up, you know, he was saying, let's go 3-2. We got this. And he wasn't really like, he wasn't saying much. It was just more of like, let's go. And that's Russell Wilson. That's been Russell Wilson since he got in the league. And so
yeah. My question was
nothing's
just
going to change about him just because he's mic'd up. Like,
yeah. I was like, what do they want? Like,
yeah.
they want to cuss out his players?
Like, that's what I'm saying. Well, yeah, like what's gonna like? They want to
Yeah.
hear him talking mess about other people. That's because that's what other quarterbacks do. Like,
And I don't really know many quarterbacks. The only quarterback I don't like in this league right now is Phillip Rivers. You see him get sacked, and then he like took his little fist and like punched the boy.
no, I didn't see that.
But it was like a little kid, like a little kid punch. Like he held back, and it was like, meh. And like the guy was like, "Man, get off me." So,
That's
hey
funny,
man,
dude.
you got the Seahawks. I got the Eagles.
Yes.
The thing is, I'm on a flight, bro. Look, listen, I'm going to Florida.
Okay.
I fly out.
I told you guys this guy's a baller, bro.
I fly
trips to Idaho and Florida.
I fly out Sunday on Young Life's dime. I fly out Sunday.
Come on.
And I'm on the flight like 30 minutes before the game starts.
Okay.
And like, so I'm tempted. Do I buy on-flight Wi-Fi so I can watch the game? And the answer is pretty much yes. I'm about to do it right after I get out.
How long? I don't even know how long a flight.
That's like a 5.5 hour flight.
So you're on 30 minutes. So the game will be over when you're off the flight.
Because I get on at like 9 a.m. So I get off at like 5:30-ish, 5:20. So it'll be like an hour into the game. So halftime.
So Sunday, is this Sunday night game?
Well, for us, it's a Sunday like afternoon game.
Gotcha.
Because it's at 1 o'clock our time or 2 o'clock our time. But we'll see, man. It's gonna be a good game. I'm excited.
Okay. Yeah. Same.
Let's do it. Hey, what else, bro? Oh, here we go. You know, it's 2020. We're recording this in 2020.
2020, bro.
Wow.
2020 vision.
First, every church series, bro. Every church series. I will bet you that there will be there's probably over 1,000 churches that are doing 2020 vision.
2020 vision.
And it's hilarious to me.
Let's not even go there. Like,
the church series that you always know people are going to do, 2020. You knew that churches were going to do God's plan.
You knew pastors were going to do close on Sunday.
You knew they were going to do it. Jesus is king. No, Jesus needs to be king in your life. And, you know, like, closed on Sunday. Some of you are closed on Sunday in this place today. And some of you need to open your lives up in the glory of God. You know what I mean? Like, just church, dude. Churches are predictable, bro.
Yeah,
like,
bro. I mean, well, when you get this stuff in the world,
it's perfect
happening today. It's like, why would you not use that?
Oh yeah, I mean,
except for 2020 vision. 2020 vision is like, don't do that. Just don't do that. Across the board,
you're not
a
with
pastor
it.
And you're hearing this, and you're a youth pastor and you're
not with it.
2020, no, no, don't follow the cliche. Please don't. Please don't do it.
Oh man. Well,
2020 vision.
I like what it means. Like I like the idea because it's like clarity. But I just think I think when everyone does it, you're like, oh.
Okay, then name your series. This is a perfect idea. Name your series Clarity, but have a message topic be 2020 vision. And then I can see clearly now. And then like
The rain is gone.
you know what I mean? Like
And then have them come sing. Have them be guest worship pastors at your service. I can see clearly now the rain. Going off the rails.
yeah, we are totally going off the rails.
But hey man, you like my mug?
Bro.
It's my Christmas mug. Go crazy.
This stuff.
He put out Monopoly.
Maybe.
I'm done. Anyway, in the vein of New Year's of 2020 vision, brother, resolutions, goals, bro. What's some things that you're looking to? What's your thoughts on goals and resolutions?
I think that based off of what goals and resolutions I set every year, the ones I know I need to do, I don't ever really get done, and the ones that I don't talk about end up happening. And so I think my goal this year for resolutions and goals and all that setting and stuff is take it slow.
Yeah.
So set minor goals and then try to achieve them one at a time. So starting off with like health and eating healthy. So my goal is to eat healthy by bringing my lunch to work every day during the week. If I can achieve those little goals, and I can start implementing other things as far as buying a gym membership and starting to work out on my lunch three times a week, and just little things like that, where instead of trying to implement, hey, I want to save money, I want to build my relationship with my students better, which these are goals that are obviously I'm thinking on and I'm sitting on, but I want to start with the tangible ones. I want to start with the ones that I know I can get done. And I'm not just saying them because it's a New Year's resolution. I'm saying it because it's something that, all right, this is what I need to work on, and this is the only thing I'm going to focus on right now. Because in the past, I've set these goals, and I'm like, yep, I want to do this, 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 and this, and I touch one thing on that list, and then the rest of them just go to the wayside. So
that's how a resolution
I think it's like a
goes.
month. I think it's a month by month kind of thing where, maybe January I'm working on health, and then February I start building my finances, and then in March I propose, and I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Shoot.
I'm joking. I'm joking. But just little things like that. Yeah.
Yeah. Nah, man. I think that's, they say like some percentage of people have already failed their New Year's resolution, and it's 10 hours into the day. You know what I mean? Like
crazy.
And so I think it's interesting because I think as believers, we almost follow again, I'm corny, the earthly way of resolutions more than God has called us to do them. And I just think, like, I saw this post, I really loved it. It was like, why each year do you try to recreate yourself? Like each year, 2018, 2019, 2020, every single person,
new me.
Everyone's trying to recreate themselves. And then this is what I was on Twitter the other day, and I probably sound like a jerk, but everyone's like, 2020 is all about me. I'm cutting everybody off. And I'm like, maybe that's the issue.
Yeah.
Maybe,
I think
you know what I mean?
I think that a lot of these people who are cutting people off every year are the issue. It's not the people they're cutting off, because if you're cutting off that many people in your life, something's wrong with you. You know what I mean? Like,
that's what I was saying.
You got to do some self-checking, because there's no way that you are, like, I understand if there's people in your world that you need to just back off from. I get it. But like, every year you're posting about how you're cutting people off. That's what? Like, what are we doing here? Let's get a check in our spirit. Let's do some self-diagnosis. Let's go see a therapist. Like, we need to figure something out, because we can't be cutting people off every year. People need us, especially church world people. I hear that all the time. Like, new year, new me. It's like, nah. New year, same you. Set goals.
God didn't change your DNA. God didn't change like what he wants you to do is change, right? He wants us to change our behavior. Like, we're going to talk about this book later, but this book with John Mark Comer, he talks about, like,
great guy, by the way.
Yes. Being an apprentice of Jesus, like being an apprentice of someone, is you literally do everything that they do. And he says, a lot of us, we believe in Jesus, but we don't believe in the behavior. We don't believe in the actions. We don't actually want to do what he did.
Wow.
And so we have a bunch of people who are like, what should be my New Year's resolution? What should be my New Year's goal? And I was like, one, Jesus didn't cut anybody off except the Pharisees because they were tripping. But if you got Pharisees in your life, then they need to go. But
That's what I'm saying, yeah.
He didn't cut nobody off, and he was always with people, and he always rested with Jesus or with the Lord. And I was just like, that's it. Stop trying to recreate yourself. And I mean, there's this one person that I know that every single year when they set their goals, I mean, they're specific and they got them, and and then 2 months in, I'm like, what happened? And they did great those first 2 months. Like, you were like, dang, you're killing the game. And then, I mean, last year, I started my 1 year Bible reading plan. I stopped 15 days into it. Like,
I started saving money in January. I think I spent every dollar I saved by the end of April.
You know what I mean? It's just,
so yeah,
it's intentionality too. I mean, you have to be intentional with. So some of my New Year's goals, bro, is paying off all non-school debt. Because I just want to pay off my school debt with more money to work with. I'm graduating school, so just finish school, bro. Get my bachelor's, baby.
Handle that. What are you getting your bachelor's in, Brody?
Ministry leadership, so I can start pastoring to the people. You know what I'm saying? I can do it now, but degree for the people. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, and that's some of them. And I think my biggest goal is I pick words or a word of the year, and my word's just slow down, and we'll get into that more later. But man,
I haven't picked my word for the year yet.
With working 2 different jobs and coaching and there's all this different stuff that I do, not trying to be like, here's my schedule. Feel bad for me, but feel bad for me. No, I'm playing. But I think I think that for myself, I'm so in just the season of like hurrying up and getting to this spot, and people need me here and serving people, that I forget that God's like, nah. Don't serve them, serve me. And I'm like, oh yeah, forgot about that. You know what I mean? And it's like, so I think God's called me to slow down and be with my family, be with my girlfriend more, be with her family more, be with, and obviously be with him more. And then everything else just falls. If you can focus on your most important ministries, then I think your other ministries will glean from that, will get power from that, because you're focusing on what God has literally told you, I need you to focus on. Everything else seems to be by choice. So those are my New Year's resolutions, bro. Those are the goals.
Real life, bro. It's so good. So good.
Hey, man. My encouragement to people is just set one. Like, I love what Telyn said. Set one goal.
Yeah.
Just for this month, January, what are you going to do? You're going to read a book? Read a book. Like, do that. And then do it. And then what happens is when you start doing minor goals, then big goals are easier to happen because you did all the minor work first. So, hey, but before we get into our leadership topic, we're going to take a little break. Video people, it's just going to hop straight back into what we're talking about. But for my audio people, you guys will check out this ad and we'll get back to it.
Welcome back, Youth of the Nation podcast.
Yes, sure.
Jesus is the only one. This segment is something I added because I feel like I want to be intentional with like who I do life with. And I just want to give people shout outs. So I like shouting people down. I like making sure people are lifted up. That's just who I am. I feel like if you are in ministry, you should be giving people should know that they're valued. And so there's a couple students I want to shout out, and there's a couple leaders that I feel like are just killing the game right now. And so I know Nate's got some pastors he wants to shout out too, but I'm going to start first. So the leaders that I really admire in their leadership, one of them being Michael DeWalt. He is a newer person that I met in my life recently from the church. He's been around the church real life forever. but he's also been gone. Him and his
Mm-hmm.
wife moved, and they came back. And seeing him back and seeing his interaction with students, seeing the way he carries himself, the energy he has on a Wednesday night. I thought I was the energetic, crazy guy, but he is 10 times me, which is crazy.
Wow.
And I think just the way he is intentional with every student he meets, I think that is huge. So I want to shout out him, and I want to shout out Tyler Gunn, who's
that last name's fire.
Who is also one of my bros from the church, just a great dude. Actually, River as well. We started this small group on Saturday mornings. Not really a name for it yet. We'll talk about that later. But
yeah,
we meet every Saturday, whether or not we have students come or not, and we do a Bible study, and we talk about the Word. We break down the Word, and I think it's going to go somewhere. So the fact that he's willing to meet with me every Saturday, even when students aren't coming, I think that's huge. And then my guy Dylan Daniels, only got one shout out. My guy Dylan Daniels, he's a football player for Kentwood High School, and one of the greatest students I have ever had the pleasure of leading. He's faithful, he's authentic, he's real, genuine. Those are just a little bit of words I could say about him. He is. He's real. Like, he keeps it real. Like, he's not one of those students that, like, I'm going to put on this facade. Oh my God, I love you, Jesus. And then I'm going to go home and post about Jesus all the time. No, he does life as a student should do life, but he knows who God is.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that is wouldn't say the best way that a student can go about things, but some of the times students that I've encountered fake it until they make it kind of thing. And I think you just need to have that authenticity behind what you're doing. And Dylan definitely has that. And so those three dudes, man, have just been on my heart heavy. I've been praying for them. Not that I'm not praying for anybody else, but when I was doing this, when I thought about this segment for shoutouts and stuff, I was just like, man, I think that we should definitely start doing this. I think it's a good idea. So what about you, Nate? You got some shout outs or what?
Yeah, man. I want to shout out John Mark Comer. We're not friends, but man, that book that we're about to talk about is phenomenal. Loved every second of it. And I just want to give a shout out to people in ministry who are doing it right.
Yeah.
And pastors in ministry and people in ministry. But when I say doing it right, I mean, obviously we know that we are a sinful creation, not sinful creation. We are sinful beings that is in our nature. We have a sinful nature. And I love seeing when people are just winning and doing it right, and when you know someone's life and they're doing it right. So I want to commend those people, because I think so often we can forget that there's not every bad youth leader. There's not 100. There's more. I would say there's more good than there is bad, but we all see the bad, right? And so we put that on everybody. And I'm just saying, like, shout out to the people who are loving kids well, who have the youth ministries of 5 people and are killing the game, and their kids love Jesus. And man, I don't care what anyone says. If I got a youth pastor who has a 5-person youth ministry and those kids love Jesus and they're activating their schools against a 200-person youth ministry and they don't know anybody's name, and just like some of that stuff that we know, man, I'm like, shout out to the people that are doing it right. And so, man, I think so often we just don't commend. I think we always talk more about bad behavior than we talk about what someone's doing well in Christ and doing well in their ministry. And so, man, I don't have any specific people. I will give a shout out to my girlfriend, because she's just been amazing with me, especially in ministry, as I run around with a chicken with my head cut off. She's been like the constant and the person that's been there and present. And I just want to give a shout out to Young Life, man. They let me speak at their camp reunion.
Oh, bro, how did that go?
Dude, I think it went well.
Time out.
What's up?
Nate spoke at the camp reunion for Young Life. So, Nate, How many students were there? That doesn't matter. How did it go? Were you nervous? Did the jitters happen? Like, what did you
Yeah.
preach the house down? How was it, my guy?
This is weird. But
This is weird.
yeah, it's weird. But it was good. So the first night I spoke, there was probably 100 or 50 less people. And so the next morning when I spoke, there was like, the room was like packed, and I was like, oh gosh. But anyway, I think it went well, man. I try to come to this idea of like honesty. I think so often in some rooms, we can forget the authenticity of like, nah, we're tripping. Like, we're wrong. And so that's what I tried to get at. I showed clips of Inside Out. They loved that. And man, the biggest point was that, man, we are running to everything else. But during like camp, when you're on assignment, I don't know if you've ever been on an assignment, but when you're at camp on an assignment, like you are with God, you're told to be with God, you're kind of forced to be with God. Like there's really nowhere else you can do. But when we get home, some of that stuff gets put in the closet and it's like, cool, I'll save that for Young Life Camp. I'll save that for church camp. I'll save that for this. And then what happens? We go into our lives like, man, where's God at? And I'm like, well, you just put him up in the closet. Like, how about you take him out and dust off and open and look at what's here? And so, man, I thought it was good. People have told me that they appreciated it. It's always hard to gauge because I think a lot of people are like, I'm just here to kick it at the reunion. Wow. And then so.
Yeah. No,
if I were to be honest, man. I believe the Lord gave me the power to preach the house down. And yeah, man, I made one joke. Probably shouldn't have made it. I said, you know, you got 3 brown dudes in the fire. And they were like, in the 80s, there would have been white dudes. Because in the movies, right, with all the movies about the biblical times, it was all white dudes. And people lost it, bro. It was awesome. But I loved it. It was also cool, like, Julia came. So she came and got to hear me speak, which was just an honor to have. And so, yeah, I'm just thankful for, like, God. The vision in my life is that God has called me to be in these spaces, in these rooms with just people and share the gospel to them. And I got the chance to do that. And it was just, I was like, God, this is what I'm called to do. This is it. So.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
That's awesome.
It was great. So shout out to them, bro. You know, they didn't have to. I'm 21. Like, that was scary. Like, I was like, there's people in here older than me.
Yeah.
Older, and she told me to come speak. I was on one.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. These students need to hear your voice. So
thanks, man.
Hey, so the last segment of this podcast, one of us usually brings a thought on leadership. And last week we talked about the 41 coming. And this time you have something for us. Nate, what did you bring? What's on your heart? What's happening this time with leadership?
Yeah. You know, I'm just here to lay down my sin. No, I'm playing. So this book, John Mark Comer, The Ruthless Elimination of Hurry. I don't know if you've read it, but you got to. People were hyped on it a little bit before. It came out in October. So people have been hyped on it, but I just bought it because I'm trying to read a book. I'm trying to read 2 books every month. And so what's it called? I started reading this book, and halfway through it, and man, we are in such a world of hurry. We are told that we have to be at this thing and at this thing and at this thing and at this thing and at this thing. And then we tell God, we tell church, we tell our girlfriend, we tell our spouse, I don't have enough time for you. And what he's saying is, if you don't have enough time, I argue you don't really believe or follow it.
Wow.
And there's a statistic that he said, our generation, Generation Z, or no, you're a millennial. I'm a Generation Z. Generation Z and millennials, pretty much, they spend almost 6 to 7 hours on their phone. A day, 5 hours sleeping.
Wow.
And the rest watching hours of Netflix and hours of this and all of this. And I was like, hold on. So he said the reason that a lot of people feel hurried Again, I'm paraphrasing, but the reason a lot of people feel hurried is because they're actually just filling time that they could use for productive things, and they're doing non-productive things. I mean, go check your phone on social media. I mean, I'm gonna go check mine right now. My screen time, like, it's probably ridiculous because we're wasting time, and then we're telling people that need us, I don't have enough time. Like right now, my daily average, bro, I'm just gonna keep it a buck with you, is 7 hours. Now, I also watch a lot of YouTube when I'm at work and have it on the like side as I'm watching, but still, like, that's ridiculous. You know what I mean?
Mine is 5:42.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just like a small topic of that. But the conclusion of what I'm getting from this book is a lot of us are just hurrying. But you know what, Jesus, so good, bro. Jesus was never in a hurry. Remember when Jairus is like, hey, can you come heal my daughter, bro? And he's like, yep, bet. And then homegirl touches the robe and he's like, stop.
Who touched me?
Who touched me? Yeah. Could you imagine being Jairus? Like, bro, hey, my daughter's
we got something to do. Yeah.
My daughter's still dead.
Yeah.
Like DED dead. Like, she dead.
DED dead. Stop.
And you're stopping and talking to this woman.
Yeah.
And the Bible, right? Like, a lot of scholars say that he would have sat and talked with her for like more than a good amount of time, like heard her story.
Come on.
And then one more time, and I'll let you just kind of chime in on it, is Lazarus, never in a hurry. Jesus learns that one of his homies is dying and waits.
Come on.
Why? I would argue it's to see the glory of God. But why does he wait? Like, bro, he's dead. Like, if I figured out that one of my boys was dying, I'm not waiting. I'm going there now.
Yeah.
But Jesus waits. And it's like, and still weeps. Waits, knows he's going to be healed, and still weeps. Man, and just like, I just think the idea of like, he says this, and this was the quote that got me. He said, a good shepherd never runs.
Wow.
What's American church culture taught you, though? What's American church culture taught us? Hey, you got to go. You got to fight. You got to get them. And yes, there's an urgency.
Get up.
There's an urgency. Yeah. I totally believe there's an urgency to us sharing the message of Jesus. There is, right? Yep. People are dying every day and not knowing the love of God. That's an issue. But when we can't even sit down and talk to our family, when we can't even sit down and read our Bible for 10 minutes, there's a deeper issue behind all of this.
Yeah.
And man, dude, this book has just been like just daggers in the chest.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man, what's hurry look like in your life? What do you think about kind of what I've been saying? Have you read the book at all?
I haven't read the book, no, but I think I should definitely start reading it based off of what you're telling me right now. I think hurry looks different for me. I think I hurry a lot in other ways where there's no patience. Like I'm anxious for the next thing to happen. I'm waiting for, I believe that I'm called to do ministry too. I believe that the job I'm working now is for the time being. And I know God is going to put me in that position when it happens.
Yeah.
But I get so anxious about things and my mind wanders. And I think hurrying for me looks like a lot of anxiety rather than being patient, waiting on God, waiting on the call and just kind of slowing down. Like you said, keeping that pace, like the Michael Todd, like sometimes our pace looks like this and Jesus is just asking us to keep a normal pace. So that way we are on track with what we want life to look like and not hurrying ourselves and stumbling over things and missing things and got to go back. And, so just, that's so good. It's so good that it's something I got to sit on because I wasn't expecting to get hit with like how fast I'm moving, all right, now I'm thinking about all these different things I've missed from the past, and like now I got to go back and redo things and like sit down and have conversations with people and like, man, how do I get this done? Well, you should have thought about that a long time ago. You're moving too fast. Oh, okay, yep. So there's a lot of that, man, and it's so good. I think that happens in ministry a lot with students. I think it happens a lot in ministry with pastors, and they don't know it. They're just moving too fast. They want things to happen like this, and if it's not, then it's not good enough.
That's what we've been taught.
Yeah.
Like, it's wild to me, but as I look at the average person's life, hurry is the theme.
Yeah.
And a lot of it's because we have to raise money and we have to do this and we have to get in. Man, it's a weird paradigm shift, I think, but we have to change our mindset in knowing that God handles it. Now there's work, right? There's work that we have to do, right? But if Jesus slowed down, we can slow down. Mark Comer in this book says, Jesus probably had a more busier schedule than you did. But he made sure that he rested. How
crazy is that?
Jesus' iPhone calendar would have been packed just with stuff like meeting with this and doing this and going here and traveling here and healing people and feeding, you know what I mean? And still slowed down. So, yeah, man, I think he says at the last part that I've read so far is that a lot of us were too scared to be the opposite of culture, that we just fit in with culture. But Jesus people got to stand out. We're called to lead, and we can't lead out of burnout.
Yeah.
So, yeah, man, that's the leadership topic, dude. You're right. It caused me to slow down and be like, how am I hurrying in my life? How am I doing too much in my life? So,
yeah, man, it's so good. I'm excited for the topic I got, not this week, but the following week. I already have it.
Oh, come on, baby. Hey, also, that's it. That's the show. Thanks for listening. Hey, so last week what happened is that we had the holidays, and so we just both didn't do an episode, and so apologize for not like putting out something earlier.
I apologize to the fans. It's on me. I dropped the ball on that one. So
I wasn't trying to
you
snitch.
Don't got to be the nice guy. I messed up. It's my fault, Youth of the Nation. We did not have an episode last time. So you can ridicule me, slide up in my DMs, and let me know how I messed up. All right.
Okay. All right. Anyway, I wasn't going to say it, but that's why we didn't do an episode. It was his fault. But we'll be back in 2 weeks. Thank you so much for listening to Youth Nation podcast.
Let's do a bonus episode.
A bonus episode?
Let's just drop one next week too.
All right. We would be dropping an episode next week and the week after. Shoot, who knows? We might do every week after that. You don't know. But just so you guys know, we love you guys. And Telyn, let them know who's the only one.
Jesus is the only one.
Terrible outro. All right. Love you guys.
Yeah,
I don't know. Peace.
Love it.